is an interesting story. After winning Serie A, Antonio Conte's future as head coach of Inter Milan remains in question. Carve, tell us why. What's happening there? Are they downsizing?
Look, what's happening is that Conte is having talks with Inter today about his future. And from what we're being told, especially from our colleagues at Sky Italy, is that there's a very, very good chance that he may leave Inter. Just in the past few minutes, I've been told that he has not told the club that he wants to leave, but he has major concerns because the club's Chinese owners have basically said to him, well done for winning the title, but we need to cut costs. You need to shave about £70 million from your budget. And I think as far as Antonio Conte is concerned, he's a very demanding manager. He's demanding of his players. He's also demanding of his owners. And I think if he thinks that going forward he's going to be managing Inter with one hand tied behind his back, then he may well feel that it is time for him to leave. The background to this is that Inter have Chinese owners. They're owned by a Chinese retail giant called Suning. Now, they also owned the Chinese champions, a club called Jiangsu Suning. And they won the Chinese Super League last November. And a month later, Suning closed the club down, even though they were Chinese champions.
Wow.
The players turned up for pre-season training after they'd won the title, and the training ground was locked. The club had been closed down because they decided to pull out of football. Now, obviously, it's also very concerning if you're an Inter supporter because they also own Inter. And what has happened is they've won the title and they've turned around to Conte and said, we need to cut costs. Now, there are question marks not just over the future of Conte, but also players like Romelu Lukaku, because he's by far and away the most valuable asset they have. And for instance, if they were to try and sell him this summer, that is not something that Antonio Conte would stand for. So it's a really interesting story developing this afternoon, and these meetings are ongoing at the moment. But the latest information we have is that he is not asked to leave yet, but he is very unhappy about what the owners are asking him to accept going forward.
So two things. Romelu Lukaku, I mean, we've already spoken about this before, could be on his way, I guess, maybe to the Premier League. So does that mean that Conte could be on his way to the Premier League, do you think, again?
Well, first of all, if he was to leave Inter, you would have to say that there would be a long list of clubs who would want to hire him this summer. Because if you look at his record, what he achieved not just as a player but as a manager, he won 3 titles at Juventus. Yes, I know it's not that difficult maybe to win titles at Juventus, but he did it nonetheless. Then he went to Chelsea, won the title in his first season at Chelsea. Problems after that, he fell out with the people above him. His departure from Chelsea was very, very acrimonious. Then he went to Inter. Now, Inter had not won the title for, I think, 11 seasons. He won the title this season with Inter as well. So he's a proven winner. And he is somebody, I think, if Spurs
could they do that
kind of manager, if they want somebody who's a sergeant major, who's a disciplinarian, who demands the very, very best.
Entertaining football as well.
I mean, I think he's more sort of counter-attacking style of football. I'm not sure if he would fit into the mould of the way Spurs like to play, because as you said, Daniel Levy has kind of let it be known that the next manager of Spurs needs to be somebody who respects their footballing philosophy and the Spurs way of playing. I'm not sure if Conte does that, but he is a proven winner. Wherever he's been, he has won. And I think if we're talking about Spurs, I hate using this word, but it would have to be a project that Antonio Conte would be able to buy into. So you would have to say, look, you've got a fantastic stadium, you've got a fantastic training ground, you've got Harry Kane, and you will have money to spend on players. If he was to leave Inter, and if Spurs were to say that to him, then I think he would listen to what they had to say. But other jobs may well become available across Europe this summer. For instance, Real Madrid, a job he's turned down in the past. The Napoli job is available at the moment. The Juventus job could well be available, but he won't be going back there because he's got a very bad relationship with the Juventus president, Andrea Agnelli. But we should really keep a close eye on what happens at this meeting in Milan today, because from what Sky Italy are telling us, there is a good chance that Antonio Conte could be leaving.